Hey, what's going on, guys? Jeff back here. Happy New Year. First video of 2023. Hope you guys have had a good holiday season. A little rough for me and my family. My wife and I were very sick over Christmas and New Year's, so that was not very fun at all. But we're feeling much better now, so we're back at it, and I've got an update for you guys on the Excelsior project. So the last time we left off in the last video, we had just done our major 3D scanning with Adam and Illumisthetic. That was definitely a major process. It was a full day, about 8 hours of time it took to do all the scan work, but that has now opened the door for us to move forward with the project. Obviously, we're doing now all the CAD work, which means we're putting it in a digital form, doing 3D work so that we tighten up any loose ends on the body kit, and we actually are now able to duplicate the pieces that I made practically on the passenger side of the car and duplicate them digitally to the other side of the car and then 3D print those pieces. So now we can have the full kit on the entire car and then take the entire kit into molding for composite production. So we are definitely moving forward with the process, and I'm super excited. Now the guys over at Illumisthetic are still hard at work getting that 3D model complete. It's not quite done just yet. This is something that takes a lot of time and a ton of skill, so I'm very appreciative of what those guys are doing for me. But when they're finally done, what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to change the colors, see the different colors on the kit. We'll be able to make any adjustments that we want to make to reverse engineer parts or whatever we want to do. It's going to really open up the floodgates for possibilities for this body kit. Of course, 3D printing is going to be the ultimate goal, but having that complete full 3D model of essentially the completed car in digital form is just going to be absolutely epic. And one really cool thing that it's going to allow us to do is actually import that 3D file of the car into games. So I've already had a ton of people ask me, practically beg me, some of them have asked me for the 3D file so that they can mod the car into like GTA 5 or Assetto Corsa, and that is something that I am totally down for. So very excited to be able to see the Excelsior kit in some games coming up very soon, probably before the kit is even released. So look forward to that. But for now, we're not quite done with it, so it's going to take a little bit while longer. But in the meantime, what Adam was able to do was he was actually able to take the base scan file of the car that we had with the kit on the passenger side and kind of chop it in half and copy paste the one side of the car onto the other side of the car, so we have an approximation of the car with the complete kit on both sides. Again, it's not the completed model, it's just an approximation, but it's for the first time we're actually going to be able to see what the kit looks like on both sides of the car, and it is absolutely epic, guys, let me just tell you. So buckle up, let me show you this, check it out. I think you guys will like it. Alright guys, here we are in Blender. I have got the 3D render pulled up of Xylus here. You can see it's looking really nice and sleek. Here is the side that you guys have seen quite a bit on Instagram. Really cool to see it all in one solid color, although it is, you know, admittedly pretty bland in the just the light gray there. It still looks really cool. A lot cooler than all the multicolors of my car right now currently. So you can really see how the kit really looks a lot better in one color. It's going to look absolutely amazing, as you can imagine, when it's actually painted. And you guys will love the paint color that I've chosen for it. Don't worry about that. That's probably the #1 question I get asked all the time is, when am I painting it and what color is it going to be? That's coming as quickly as possible, and the color is going to be epic, so don't worry about that. You guys are going to love it. But let's take a good look here at what we got. I couldn't be more excited about this because after seeing this side of the car for nearly 3 years, we finally now have the kit on the driver's side now as well. This, of course, is not going to be the final version of the kit. This is really just a copy-paste job for the time being, where Adam from Illumisthetic and BD Engineer just went ahead and cut the car in half essentially and mirrored the one side over to the other. So there is going to be some slight differences in the finished product. You can see here, for example, that the gas cap is here on the driver's side, which is not going to be there on the final kit. It's not necessary, obviously. And the exhaust, of course, is not there. It's just a copy from one side or of the other. But this is definitely good enough to give us an idea of what this kit is going to look like on the car in its full complete form. absolutely amazing. It's just incredible. Of course, I always had the image in my mind of what it was going to look like, but finally being able to see it here in a rendered form is just blowing my mind. I have probably sat here looking at this thing and just spinning it around with my mouse for, gosh, if I had to tally up all the time, probably a good 3 or 4 hours I've spent just looking at this and shedding a few tears here and there. I mean, it may sound weird to some of you guys, but after spending that much time of my life building this kit and finally being able to see the finished product here, or nearly the finished product on the entire car, it's really emotional for me, and I think it just looks absolutely amazing. Taking a look at the top here, you can see really just how much more width this kit adds to the Z33. It is a very wide kit, very wide. You can see in the back view here just how much those rear wheels stick out here, and for reference, these wheels that I'm running here in the back are a 14.5 wide, and the fronts are a 12.5. So very wide wheels, and a lot wider than stock, as you can see there. I think it looks just absolutely epic. And of course, it's on air suspension, so although it looks like it's really low, the air suspension is definitely going to help me get around to get over speed bumps and particularly perilous roads, so that's definitely going to help quite a bit. It is a very low kit, so air suspension is definitely going to be recommended for this. If you guys plan on picking this kit up in the future, definitely would recommend air suspension. But anyway, let's take a look at this thing. It's fully equipped in this form. It's got all of the current accessory pieces that I've made for the kit, including the hood crown, as you can see there. Again, that hood crown is actually not going to be available in the full kit, the resale kit. It's just going to be on mine, so it is cool to see it though here. It's really cool looking. We also have our headlight eyelids there that have been a really big hit. A lot of you guys have really shown interest and like of the headlight eyelids there. So what I've actually decided to do is actually make the headlight eyelids available before the actual kit is available, so you guys can pick those up for your Zs if you'd like them. I still don't have an exact date as to when those will become available, but they'll definitely be available this year, probably even first or second quarter of the year at the latest, I would imagine. And then we have, of course, our rear quarter window garnish there. You can see just that little small extra piece that I designed for the rear quarter window to help the shape of the window look more like the classic Z rear quarter window design, as well as the two successive Model Zs that also harkened back to that superior design, in my opinion. It's really cool, so we went ahead and did that. That piece will probably be made available early as well. I've got a couple of you guys that are interested in buying that as well. And then of course we have our roof spoiler on the top there. Now, as I've mentioned before in previous videos, the roof spoiler was designed to work in conjunction with the Accessory louvers for the Z33. And as it is right now, it just sits right on the top of the top slat of the louvers there. And that's definitely something that's going to be available if you guys want that setup, if you're running louvers on your Z33. But Adam and I, Adam with Illum Aesthetic that is, have decided to go ahead and do a reverse engineer on the roof spoiler to make it also viable for Zs without the louvers. So it will actually have probably two little stands or something here in the back where it will actually rest right on the rear factory glass, so that you will not need to run the louvers if you choose not to. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, so I definitely wanted to cater to those folks as well who are interested in picking up the roof spoiler there. So we are reverse engineering the spoiler on the roof to work without the louvers as well. That will be available probably in both forms. Louver form and non-louver form will be available. Also, you can see the accessories on the side skirt there. We have the two accessory pieces, the winglet in the back there right next to the rear wheel, which is really cool. And I'm actually going to do another design, another optional type of design. So this one will be available, and then I'm still in the thought process of designing another optional type of shape, another design. So there will be kind of an option for you guys if you don't like that one. You also don't have to run a winglet there at all if you don't want a winglet there at all, but it is available. So there will be two options for the rear winglet there, but that's the one we have so far. And then up toward the front there, near the vents in the front portion of the side skirt, we have that little extra side garnish there, totally optional, and something that I think just adds a little bit of extra panache to the side skirt. I really like it. Gives it a little bit more of a cyberpunk, futuristic, or dragon type of vibe, mecha type of vibe. So I really like that. You can see the bottom line there really plays well into the bottom line of the side skirt. So I think it's cool, but it is totally optional, so you don't have to run that. If you want a little bit more of a plain look to the side skirt, that is something you can leave off for sure. And then of course we have the ducktail wing in the back, which is really cool. Came out epic, if I do say so myself. I think it looks awesome. Of course, my car is running the ducktail and GT wing combo. The GT wing here in this case is by Ray's Factory. One of the best GT wings for the Z33, in my opinion. Just absolutely fantastic wing. I was running this wing for a long time on my previous setup of this car as well, and decided to go ahead and keep it for the Excelsior version as well. So what we've actually decided though is we're going to go ahead and reverse engineer the ducktail as well to just work as a standalone, so it will not have the grooves for the GT wing. It's just going to be the ducktail itself that you guys can pick up and run for yours. If you want to run the GT wing combo like I have on mine, you will probably have to go ahead and do the work to put the cuts in. Right now we're not planning on producing a version, I guess in this case it would be a three-piece version of the ducktail wing. You guys will have to go ahead and do the work to integrate the GT wing of your choice into that ducktail if you wanted to capture this same kind of look for it. But it will be made available standalone without the grooves for the GT wing, so look forward to that. Again, another piece that will probably be made available before the entire kit is released. I've had a lot of interest for people just wanting, you know, one piece here or there, like the wing or the headlight eyelid, or you know, the rear quarter accessory piece, you know. So those little small pieces that are easier to produce, I am planning on getting those out before the entire kit is out, so you guys can pick those up if you want them. Or of course you can wait for the entire kit to be released and just pick everything up all at once. That would be cool too, but it will be up to you guys. We also have the rear bumper, of course, looking awesome, looking amazing. As I zoom out a little bit, you can really again get a look at just how wide the Excelsior kit makes the Z33. Very menacing, either from the front or the back. No matter how you look at it, this kit is just absolutely incredible. Really changes this car. I mean, imagine a stock Z33. I probably should have pulled up a picture of one just for comparison, but compared to a stock Z33, looking at this thing with the Excelsior kit, it's like a completely different car. I mean, it's just crazy just how much this transforms this thing. But back bumper is just, I love it so very much. I love the body line that runs from the rear fenders there. You can see runs all the way across just under the tail lights, and it's just a beautiful shape in my opinion. We also captured the tail light. The sharpness of the tail light design was also incorporated into the rear bumper at the base there, as you can see, and I thought that looked really cool. But we have our rear canard and spat set up here along the bottom, which is a 4-piece. So you have, actually it's a 5-piece. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-piece, yeah, total, with the little end plate there. And it just bolts up underneath, as you can see here as I come down. We didn't get a lot of scan data underneath the car, obviously, but we got enough so you can see kind of how it bolts up underneath. And then we have just bolts in here, so you guys can see all that, how it bolts up there. 2 on the inside of each canard, and then the plate has 4 on the outside of it, and then 2 here along the bottom of the plate. And that's really, along with that little bolt right there on the bottom of the rear fender right there, there's 2 right there. That's the only visible hardware that you're going to find on this entire kit. If you look anywhere else, you're not going to see any other hardware anywhere else. And ideally I would have liked to have had no hardware at all, but these areas right here are just very difficult to find ways to delete the hardware or make it invisible. Tried for the life of me. I could not find a way to fully delete the hardware in those cases, so unfortunately we will have to have hardware. I suppose if you really wanted to delete it, you could make little caps or something to cover that up, or whatever you wanted to do. I'm sure there's people out there that are smart enough to know how to make it look completely seamless. In fact, I'll probably end up doing that with my car, with Xylus, just to eliminate the hardware completely. I don't mind the hardware necessarily. I just think it looks a little bit cleaner without it. You can see here as I zoom into the rear fender up here toward the upper portion of the rear fender how it tucks under the tail light there and then tucks under the rear hatch very, very cleanly. There's actually bolts under the rear hatch right there, but you will not see them, so it's very nice and clean. And then in the door jamb, though you can't see it right now, there's actually 3 plastic clips that hold it fastened securely to the inside of the door jamb there. Obviously you're not going to see those as well. There is two pieces of hardware behind the side skirt in this area right here that you cannot see because it's covered by the side skirt, obviously. And of course you do have the bolts here attaching the accessory pieces. But that's pretty much the only hardware that you're going to see. Otherwise it's pretty clean. So anyways, I hope you guys like what this is looking like. I am absolutely over the moon being able to see the entire car. Again, this is not the finished product. There's definitely going to be a little bit more cleanup. This is just a quick copy and paste job so that we can see what this looks like complete. But more than enough for me to get an idea and get very, very excited about the future of this body kit. I appreciate all of you guys who have been following me and following the progress of this. I am getting all the work done as fast as I can to get this thing out into the wild and produced so that you guys can pick this up for your Z33. There is a couple of other things that I have decided I am going to do. I'm going to create a new roof for it. I don't know how long that's going to take, and I don't even know if that's going to make it before we get this much of the kit produced. That may be something that happens a little bit later on in the year, but for right now I'm bullet focused on getting this car with this kit done for SEMA this year. That's my #1 goal. My #1 priority is to make it to SEMA 2023 with Xylus Excelsior. So that comes before anything else, but in any kind of spare time at all, I am going to try and fabricate a new roof for it. I'm also going to be doing some work on the mirrors. As you can see here, right now I'm running the Ganador style mirrors. They are the GK Tech mirrors, but that's on purpose because I did plan on modifying them quite radically, and I did not want to spend the money to try and get actual authentic Ganador mirrors just to cut them all up and modify those. So it's much better for me to get something that's similar but a little cheaper, and then cut those up and modify those as I please. And so right now they are just the plastic GK Tech jobs, but they are going to get pretty vastly modified as well. But aside from the mirrors and the roof, this is all pretty much primary construction. Again, like I said, I'm going to be doing a variation of the rear side skirt winglet there, and I don't know, maybe a couple other little things like little extra things for the front bumper, little garnishes or just little fancy things. I don't know. We'll see. Right now this is more than enough for me to get the car to SEMA though, so this is where I am happy with. The hood's looking great. I love that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let me know if there's anything else that you want to see. Adam and BD Engineer with Illumisthetic are working very hard to get the actual full complete render and media package for this all complete. So that's going to be the exhaust and everything. The gas cap's going to be removed. The whole thing is going to be perfect, just as it will be when the car is complete. So they're working very hard on that, and I will of course have an update up for you guys on that. But let me know if you have any other questions or suggestions. I'm actually very open to suggestions. If you guys have any ideas, any way that you guys can think to maybe even make the kit better, I'm an open book. So if you have questions or suggestions, please let me know. I really appreciate your feedback. I appreciate all of your comments and questions and all that. So thank you guys so very much. Alright guys, so there it is, your first look at the Excelsior kit from all angles. I don't know about you guys, but man, that is looking absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it, at least for a Z33, so I hope you guys can get the excitement in my voice that I have for this thing. I'm so passionate about it and so excited to see this thing at SEMA. That is my ultimate goal. So hope you guys like it. I want to mention real quick, if you see behind me, that is the Excelsior kit right there. That is a part of the new merch that I've just made in the last 2-3 weeks for the Excelsior project. This is something that I cooked up. I've been wanting to cook up along with the process of building the kit, and finally we've got some really sick merch coming out for it. About 4 different designs or so of the Excelsior kit in the proto stage, so that's why it's still the gray and all that. That's not going to be the final color of the car, but a lot of people really love that primer gray color, and I do too. I think it looks cool, so I just went ahead and decided to make a Excelsior proto merch collection with it. So this is one of the designs that we have available. It's really sick. If I move the camera a little bit, you can see it's got like a samurai and a digital background, so the mecha samurai whole aesthetic, manga type of aesthetic going on. Lots of other cool epic designs that you can see as well. It's available now in flags. I've got t-shirts, I've got the stickers for you guys, and blankets. The blankets are absolutely epic. So if you guys are interested in picking up some merch, I would really appreciate it. It helps me out. This Excelsior project is extremely expensive. I'm not even going to go over numbers or anything like that, but I will tell you guys it is, I'll just say it's thousands and thousands of dollars. So any little bit helps. I appreciate it. So if you guys want to help out, go pick up some merch. I'm going to leave the link to where you can get the merch in this video right here. So go check it out. I'd appreciate it. And I hope you guys like that stuff too. Thanks for watching this video. I will have another one up for you guys ASAP. I'm going to really pick it up this year on YouTube. We're going to get this channel moving for sure. I've said that many times, but 2023, this is the year for the SiegeStyle channel. It's going to be epic, taking the car to SEMA, finishing up the build, all that stuff. It's going to be here, so stay locked and loaded on the SiegeStyle channel so you don't miss it. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Peace out, and God bless.